What if I told you the biggest obstacle standing between you and genuine, lasting wealth isn't your income, your job, or even the amount you manage to save each month? What if this obstacle is far more subtle, hiding in plain sight, cleverly disguised as success, nestled comfortably in the very things society relentlessly tells you to strive for? Stay with me for a moment, because we're about to peel back the layers on a truth so fundamental, yet so often ignored, that understanding it could permanently alter your financial destiny and your relationship with life itself. We navigate a world saturated with the appearance of prosperity. We're bombarded daily with highlight reels, gleaming possessions, and meticulously curated lifestyles that whisper promises of happiness. And deep within, many of us feel a persistent, nagging pressure, a sense that despite working harder than ever, true financial peace, that feeling of genuine security and freedom, remains perpetually just beyond our grasp. We chase the next promotion, the bigger house, the newer car, the latest gadget, sincerely believing these are the necessary milestones on the road to a wealthy life. But what if this well-trodden road is actually a cleverly designed detour? What if the very map we've been handed is leading us astray, keeping us running on a hamster wheel of consumption and desire, while our innate potential for authentic freedom and deep fulfillment remains dormant, untapped? This conversation today isn't intended as just another list of bad investments to avoid. We're diving deeper. This is an exploration into the mindset, the underlying beliefs and assumptions that unknowingly keep us financially trapped, often for a lifetime. It's about learning to recognize the subtle, often invisible chains we forge when we trade lasting inner peace for fleeting external validation, when we sacrifice long-term freedom for short-term gratification. If you've ever felt that quiet but persistent sense that there must be a different way, a more meaningful approach to wealth, one that transcends mere numbers in a bank account, then you're in the right place. We're venturing beyond the surface-level financial advice to understand the profound why behind our choices, drawing upon timeless philosophical wisdom to illuminate a path toward genuine, sustainable abundance. A form of wealth that originates not in our wallets, but within the landscape of our own minds. The ancient Stoic philosopher Epictetus, a man who endured slavery before becoming a respected teacher, offered a profound insight that cuts through the noise of modern consumerism. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Read that again. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. This isn't a call for asceticism or self-deprivation. It's a radical, liberating shift in perspective. It suggests that our financial well-being, our true sense of prosperity, is less about relentless accumulation and more about conscious alignment. Are the things we acquire, the things we spend our precious life energy on, actually building a life of freedom, purpose, and connection? Or are they, despite their shiny exteriors, forging heavier chains of obligation, maintenance, comparison, and anxiety? The paradox is that the very things we believe will signal our success or grant us happiness often become the primary anchors weighing us down, preventing us from sailing towards the life we truly desire. Today, we'll wield this philosophical lens like a sharp pair of scissors, cutting through the hype to examine 10 common assets, things often perceived as valuable or desirable, that, in reality, function as significant liabilities. They drain not just our financial resources, but also our mental energy and emotional peace. We'll expose the danger of confusing net worth with self-worth and mistaking status symbols for genuine value. This confusion creates a perpetual cycle of striving and dissatisfaction. Our aim isn't merely to list financial pitfalls to sidestep, but to actively cultivate a millionaire brain, a mind grounded in wisdom, capable of discerning the often vast difference between the price tag on everything and the true value of what genuinely matters for a fulfilling life. Let's begin with the most visible and seductive traps, the symbols we are conditioned to use as shorthand for success, the badges we wear to broadcast our arrival. Consider the potent allure of a brand new car. That specific smell, the untouched dashboard, the admiring glances. It feels like a tangible reward, a marker of progress. Yet, beneath this sensory appeal lies a harsh financial reality. The moment that car rolls off the dealership lot, its monetary value plummets, often by 10 to 15% instantly. It's like setting fire to a significant portion of your investment before you even reach home. We finance an image, often taking on loans with interest, paying for years on a rapidly depreciating object. The total cost frequently balloons far beyond the sticker price, draining resources that could have been building actual wealth elsewhere. Why do we fall for this? Often, the core motivation isn't purely about transportation. It's about perception. We subconsciously crave the subtle nod of approval from others, the fleeting feeling of having made it in the eyes of the world. The same psychological mechanism drives the desire for high-end designer clothing, luxury watches, or the relentless, exhausting cycle of upgrading to the very latest smartphone the moment it's released. These items promise entry into an exclusive club, a temporary boost in perceived status. But we must ask ourselves, who are we truly trying to impress? And what is the hidden cost to our long-term freedom and peace of mind? As the transcript we analyzed pointed out, many individuals who have achieved substantial, lasting wealth, figures like Warren Buffett living modestly or Mark Zuckerberg with his simple wardrobe, understand a crucial distinction. True wealth isn't something you wear on your sleeve or park conspicuously in your driveway. It's built silently, patiently, through acquiring assets that appreciate or generate income, not things that merely consume resources and lose value. This relentless pursuit of external validation through consumption is a treadmill disguised as a ladder. Each purchase provides a fleeting dopamine hit, a temporary ego boost, which quickly fades, leaving behind a craving for the next status symbol to maintain the illusion. Philosophically, this speaks directly to the trap of seeking our sense of worth externally instead of cultivating it internally. The Roman Stoic philosopher Seneca wisely warned against living according to the opinion of others, noting that such a life is inherently unstable and anxious. When we acquire things primarily to signal status, we effectively hand over the keys to our financial and emotional well-being to the fickle, ever-shifting judgment of the crowd. The profound shift, the activation of the millionaire brain, begins when we pause before the purchase and ask piercing questions. Does this acquisition genuinely enhance the quality of my life in a meaningful way? Does it align with my core values and long-term goals? Does it move me towards greater freedom? Or does it subtly bind me with new obligations? Or am I, perhaps, merely renting a costume, paying a significant premium for an illusion that evaporates the moment the novelty wears off? Choosing a reliable, well-maintained used car, appreciating timeless quality over fleeting logos, or utilizing technology until it genuinely no longer serves its purpose isn't an act of deprivation. It's a powerful act of liberation. It's consciously reclaiming your most valuable resources, your money, your time, your mental focus, to construct a life of enduring substance, not just temporary sparkle. Beyond the pursuit of status, another category of financial traps preys on our deep-seated desires for escape, excitement, shortcuts, or the elusive, perfect experience. Consider the seductive marketing surrounding timeshares, the promise of owning a guaranteed slice of paradise, a hassle-free vacation spot, year after year. The reality, as the source material detailed and countless owners discover too late, is often a suffocating financial nightmare. High upfront costs are just the beginning, followed by relentlessly escalating annual maintenance fees, fees you pay whether you use the property or not, for an asset that is notoriously difficult, sometimes impossible, to sell on the open market. It tragically transforms a dream of relaxation into a lifelong financial burden, a chain disguised as a key to paradise. Similarly, the lottery and various forms of gambling offer the intoxicating allure of instant, effortless wealth, a sudden escape from financial pressures. We might rationally understand the astronomical odds stacked against us, more likely to be struck by lightning, as the saying goes. Yet billions are collectively poured into this chase each year. It functions as a regressive tax on hope, disproportionately affecting those who can least afford to gamble away their resources. This isn't a calculated investment. It's the outsourcing of one's financial future to the whims of blind chance, a surrender of personal agency. Even an event as culturally cherished and emotionally significant as a wedding can morph into a devastating financial trap. The immense social pressure, amplified by a multi-billion-dollar industry, promotes the idea that a perfect day requires extravagant spending. This leads countless couples to begin their shared lives under a heavy cloud of debt, sacrificing years, potentially decades, of financial flexibility and stability for a few hours of elaborate celebration. Interestingly, studies have indicated a potential inverse correlation. Couples who spend less on their weddings tend to report higher marital longevity, perhaps because their focus remains grounded on the substance of their commitment rather than the spectacle of the ceremony. Boats, RVs, and other expensive recreational toys often fall into this same category. The romantic dream of open water or the open road frequently clashes with the harsh realities of steep purchase prices, ongoing costs for maintenance, insurance, storage, fuel, and repairs, coupled with surprisingly minimal actual usage. Leisure, intended as a source of joy and rejuvenation, ironically becomes another source of financial stress and obligation. What is the common thread weaving through these seemingly disparate pitfalls? They often represent a fundamental misunderstanding of where true, lasting joy and genuine security actually reside. We are tempted to chase peak experiences, shortcuts to wealth, or externally manufactured perfect moments, mistaking fleeting pleasure for sustainable happiness, or confusing external events with internal fulfillment. Philosophically, this connects directly to the concept of the hedonic treadmill, our remarkable human tendency to quickly adapt to positive or negative changes, returning to a relatively stable baseline level of happiness. The extravagant wedding doesn't guarantee a blissful marriage. The lottery win rarely brings enduring peace or purpose. The timeshare doesn't automatically create cherished family memories year after year. True, deep fulfillment often arises not from these fleeting peaks, but from consistent, meaningful actions, strong relationships, financial autonomy, and a sense of purpose, the very things these costly assets can actively undermine. The Millionaire Brain approach involves a conscious shift, choosing to rent peak experiences, like a boat for a day or a unique vacation rental, instead of owning burdensome assets, choosing consistent, disciplined investing over the gamble of the lottery, and prioritizing the meaning and intimacy of a commitment over the exorbitant cost of a one-day party. It's about cultivating an appreciation for conscious, sustainable joy over costly, ephemeral highs. It's about recognizing that true escape comes not from owning a sliver of manufactured paradise, but from diligently building a life you don't feel a constant, desperate need to escape from. Finally, let's turn our attention to the financial traps that are perhaps the most insidious, because they often feel less like impulsive choices and more like necessities, rites of passage, or even prudent, responsible decisions. Yet, beneath the surface, they silently erect formidable financial walls around us, limiting our future options. High-interest credit card debt stands as a prime example. That small rectangle of plastic offers undeniable convenience, a frictionless way to transact. But the moment we carry a balance from one month to the next, it transforms into a voracious, wealth-destroying machine. Paying interest rates that commonly exceed 20% annually means we are paying vastly more for everything we purchase, sometimes double or triple the original price over time. It represents a direct, ongoing transfer of our future earnings and potential wealth straight into the coffers of financial institutions. As the transcript highlighted, the minimum payment isn't designed for our benefit. It's often calculated precisely to keep us ensnared in debt for the longest possible duration, maximizing the bank's profit. It's a modern form of financial servitude, often entered into gradually, almost unnoticed. Then there's the deeply ingrained go to college, get a good job narrative. While the pursuit of knowledge and skills is undeniably valuable, the economic equation surrounding higher education has shifted dramatically. Skyrocketing tuition fees, often financed through substantial loans, coupled with degrees in fields that may offer limited earning potential upon graduation, can lead to crippling student loan debt. This debt acts like an anchor, hampering financial progress, delaying homeownership, and limiting career choices for decades. The critical issue isn't education itself, but the careful consideration of return on investment. Taking on 6 figures of debt for a degree, projected to lead to a modest salary, isn't necessarily a wise investment. It's a significant financial gamble with potentially unfavorable odds. The Millionaire Brain approach demands we question the blanket assumption that any 4-year degree, regardless of cost or field, is automatically worthwhile. It requires analyzing potential career earnings against the total debt burden incurred and actively exploring potentially more cost-effective alternatives like targeted certification programs, community college pathways, apprenticeships, or high-quality online courses for acquiring specific, in-demand skills. Whole life insurance presents another complex, often misunderstood trap. It's frequently marketed by commissioned agents as a responsible, 2-in-1 solution, providing both life insurance protection and a cash value investment component. However, it typically underperforms significantly in both areas when compared to a simpler, more transparent strategy. Buying inexpensive term life insurance, which covers you for a specific period when protection is most needed, like when raising children or paying off a mortgage, and investing the substantial premium difference in low-cost, diversified market investments like index funds. The high fees and commissions embedded within whole life policies, especially in the early years, mean the cash value component grows incredibly slowly, often lagging far behind standard market returns. Meanwhile, the insurance protection itself is far more expensive than comparable term coverage. It's a product structure that often benefits the salesperson far more than the policyholder. What is the common psychological thread connecting these invisible walls? Often it's a lack of critical questioning, a passive acceptance of prevailing societal norms. Everyone has credit cards. You must go to college. Or a failure to fully comprehend the long-term compounding consequences of seemingly small or standard financial decisions. We drift into debt because it's easy and ubiquitous, pursue expensive degrees because it feels like the expected path, or purchase complex financial products based on trust in an expert without conducting our own thorough due diligence. Philosophically, this underscores the vital importance of applying reason, critical thinking, and embracing personal responsibility in our financial lives. The Stoics, again, emphasized living in accordance with nature and reason, which inherently includes understanding the systems, financial and otherwise, within which we operate. Building genuine wealth requires not just earning money, but actively managing it with intention. It demands questioning assumptions, relentlessly seeking unbiased knowledge, and making conscious choices that align with our clearly defined long-term goals. Escaping these invisible walls means committing to ongoing financial literacy, calculating the true cost of debt, including opportunity cost, evaluating education rigorously as an investment with potentially measurable returns, and simplifying our financial lives to focus on transparent, effective strategies that genuinely build wealth and freedom over time. So, we've journeyed together through these 10 common, yet often unrecognized, financial traps, the seductive illusions of status, the alluring chains of fleeting pleasure and false hope, the invisible walls built from debt and obligation. But simply acquiring this knowledge, merely knowing about these pitfalls, isn't where the real power lies. The genuine transformation, the active cultivation of what we call the millionaire brain, happens when we courageously turn this lens inward, take an honest, compassionate look at your own life, your own patterns, your own choices. Where might these subtle dynamics be playing out for you? Is that monthly car payment truly enabling your freedom, or is it subtly hindering it? Are the possessions filling your home lifting you up with joy and utility, or are they quietly weighing you down with maintenance, clutter, and a sense of obligation? Are your day-to-day financial decisions driven by conscious intention and alignment with your deepest values, or are they perhaps influenced more by societal pressure, marketing messages, and unexamined habits? Remember the foundational belief of this channel. Before you can truly have sustainable financial success and the freedom it can provide, you must first become the person capable of creating, managing, and sustaining it wisely. This isn't about harsh self-judgment or embracing a life of joyless austerity. It's about cultivating awareness, acting with intention, and seeking alignment. It's about fundamentally understanding that true, enduring wealth isn't measured solely by the figures in your bank account, but by the degree of freedom you possess, the peace of mind you experience, and your capacity to live a life authentically aligned with your deepest values and purpose. This journey inevitably involves questioning the pervasive cultural narratives we've been fed about what success looks like and where happiness can be found. It requires the inner courage to define wealth and prosperity on our own terms, independent of external validation. The most crucial question shifts from the superficial, "What should I buy next?" to the profound, "Who am I becoming through the sum total of my choices, financial and otherwise?" Are you unconsciously becoming someone controlled by external desires, fleeting trends, and persistent financial anxieties? Or are you consciously choosing to become someone grounded in internal worth, making deliberate decisions day by day that build a future characterized by genuine prosperity, resilience, and purpose? This process of reflection, questioning, and transformation is, of course, ongoing. It's a continuous journey of learning and growth, not a final destination to be reached. If this conversation today resonated with you, if it sparked new questions, challenged old assumptions, or offered a fresh perspective, I warmly invite you to continue exploring these vital ideas with us here at Millionaire Brain. Subscribe to the channel for more reflections focused on building wealth, resilience, and fulfillment from the inside out. And your perspective matters. I genuinely love to hear your thoughts. Please share one insight, question, or personal reflection that arose for you while watching this in the comments section below. Engaging with these ideas together helps us all learn and grow. Remember, arguably the greatest and most rewarding investment you can ever make is in the continuous development and refinement of your own mind. Until next time, keep questioning, keep reflecting, and keep consciously cultivating that millionaire brain.